Hello everybody and welcome to day 8 of my 21-day challenge to share with you some of the things that I've learned and gathered over the years around ceremony and ritual that leave to a sense of inner reverence. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about water. Now when we talked about altars, I'm just going to try and show you. This was one of my outdoor altars. This is not a great angle. And we talked about the stones in the beginning, and the stones and finding items for your altar. And the stones are very much connected to the earth. Water tends to be more connected to the moon, and we have a new moon tomorrow. So what you might like to do this evening, or any point today, is put some water in a container, and if you can, leave it outside, or even at your window. If you don't have an outside area, leave it on your window pane. I've got an itchy nose for some reason. I have left out some water. I chose a really nice glass that I have in the house. So it's all about blessing the water, giving thanks for the water. We are, 60% water in our bodies. We are so reliant on water. We've heard the term water is life so frequently, and so it is. You know, our planet is made so beautiful by its waters, its waterfalls, its oceans, its rivers. And so let's give thanks to it. Our days are full of using water, putting the kettle on, turning the tap on, having a shower, cleaning our teeth. And I wonder how often we take that for granted and don't just take a moment to give thanks as we put that glass of water to our lips or turn that tap on. Just say thank you that we have not only water, but clean, free flowing water, where so many places in the world do not have this, and so many of our waters are so horribly polluted. I had this, now this is where you probably think, oh, what's she on about? But I felt we often in the natural world, there are what are called elementals, the fairy kingdom, the devas. And I had this little sprite came to me and said, you know, in my mind's eye, but she was very, very real and very beautiful, and saying we need to remember to give thanks, to send prayers, and to try and do the utmost and the best we can to keep our waters clean and pure. Because there was a time when all our waters came from natural sources, and those waters were full of energy. Now they come through pipes, and the water, if you've ever heard of biodynamic gardening and growing from Rudolf Steiner, he talks about creating a vortex in your water where you twirl it one way and then you twirl it another. And this is so is that the water has energy and life to it. It tends, when it comes through the taps, to be somewhat dead because it's coming in a straight line. If you look at water in rivers, it's flowing, it's turning, it's moving. It's creating life, and that's where the devas, the elementals, and the sprites live. Have you ever sat by a river and just seen it shimmering, seen the light, and you could almost see the little sprites there in the water? And that is where they live. They live in that sort of water. So it's really important, if we do not want to lose those beautiful beings from behind the veils, to keep our waters clean and pure, and keep giving thanks and keep praying to the water. There was a time when our wells were guarded, and often human beings would take care of the wells. It was a privilege, and often it was a place where people used to go to gather water. and it was the centre of the community. But back in more ancient times, there would be people appointed to care for the wells, not just to look after the actual physical environment, but to look after the kind of spiritual aspect of the water, the sprites, the little people attached to the water. Anyway, I digress, but I like to digress into the world, the magical world. So I find a lovely container and I put some water in it, and I put a crystal in as well. And this will sit out at the altar tonight. I've also put my crystals out. So if you've got any stones or crystals that needs charging, bring them out and leave them by your altar. Because tomorrow we're going to get a new moon, and then we're going to have a solar eclipse. So these items will be getting charged up in that wonderful energy. I'm sure you're feeling it yourselves. I don't know if you felt the last lunar eclipse, but that wasn't that long ago. I think it was something like the 26th of May, and now we've got a solar eclipse. So we've been between two eclipses with really powerful, strong energies. A lot of people have been saying how tired they are, or they can't sleep, they've been very unsettled, mood swings. These are really powerful energies, and I'm going to talk about the eclipse more tomorrow. But in preparation for it, we're putting out our water for this new moon. At a new moon as well, it's about newness, birthing, creating. A great time to put your energy into, or your intention, which you can't put into the water. You can say, you know, you can put that intention into the water as it sits out here, receiving the energy from the new moon about what you would like to create. Now, what I suggest as well, when we did the stones, I showed you how to fukui into the stone so as that you and the stone made that connection. So we do the same with the water. We blow into it, and then I can't do it with this, click. It's like to seal it. I'm holding a selfie stick here. And that's our connection. So we're giving and we're receiving. Now, with that water that's fully charged, there's so many things you could do. You could go to a place of flowing water and give it to the water as gratitude and thank you. You can also use it if you make like sprays. You can put it in your sprays, but you can also drink it. You can drink in that water. But we will leave that for a little while for now. And we'll come back tomorrow, and we'll talk about the solar solstice. Okay, everybody, thank you once again for listening. Bye-bye.